Welcome to Il Raglio Del Mulo. It's great to have you with us. Please introduce Prophets of Thwaites to our readers and describe the band in 3 words.
If I had to describe Prophets of Thwaites in 3 words, then I would use ethereal, heavy, and atmospheric. So ethereal, mostly due to the presence of the vocals. We tend to try to create a contrast between the guitar riffs and the vocals. The vocals have a sort of like haunting, further back in the mix quality, with, quite some reverb, and whereas the guitar riffs are just, fuzzy, distorted, often, not all the time. And also the drums are heavy. So we like to create that contrast, and also sometimes, blend that with, more dreamy passages in our music. Heavy because the base of our music is heavy. It's doom. We have doomy riffs. We also have, groovy riffs and rhythms. We're tuned in C standard, so the base of our music is definitely doom. And atmospheric, because we definitely try to create, interesting atmospheric vibes. We use soundscapes when we play live, so in between, for the transitions between the different songs. So in that sense, we are really trying to create a full experience, like a full journey when people go to our concerts. And we think that it's, really great when people go home feeling that they've been part of a journey instead of having been to a concert.
Your music combines ethereal atmospheres, massive doom riffs, and dreamy vocals. How do you approach the creative process when building such contrasting emotional landscapes?
So the creative process, there are different ways. There's not just one way that we approach the creative process, I would say. At times, either Ferry, the bass player, or me, one of us will start with sharing a riff, something that we've come up with, and we might share it during band practice, and sometimes we'll start jamming if we feel like it, and other times it might be that I will, explore and figure out what could be a potential song structure, discuss it with the rest of the band to see if it's something that we could work with. Usually the lyrics is something that I come up with later on in the process, so I kind of have to know what the song structure is, and then I will start thinking about what I could do with the vocals, and after that lyrics, and as we progress in that, it kind of becomes clearer and clearer what the lyrics should be about and what the central theme should be. And usually in the band, it's definitely a collaborative process. So we refine everything, we check, make sure what we need to tweak regarding the arrangements, and especially the dynamics. How do we make sure that we, create this atmosphere and contrast that we love about our music.
Vulnerant Omnes Ultima Necat marks an important step in the evolution of Prophets of Thwaites. What did you want to express with this EP?
So the title, Vulnerant Omnes Ultima Necat, it's actually a Latin phrase. First time I heard about it was when I was listening. I love listening to podcasts, and I was listening to this podcast called S-Town, which is, I think it's from the same creators as Serial. American podcast listeners might know that podcast as well. Anyways, that's the first time I heard about it, and so it means, the phrase means all hours wound, but the last one kills, sort of, like loosely translated. And it definitely resonated with me. I thought it was fascinating, the concept of time, how time passes, and it really reflects the passing of time and the impact that every moment can have on us until we, kind of die. So the songs in our EP, so there's 2 songs on them. First one is called A Deadlock, is about collectively turning a blind eye, whereas the second one, the title track, is about what is left behind once the damage is already done. So together they deal with themes of denial, consequences, but also reflection. So for us, it definitely marked a sort of new beginning. I mean, before the debut EP, we recorded a couple of demos. So this was our first, I would say this was the first release for us that really showed and presented what our identity is as a band and the direction we are heading towards. We're really excited because we're going to be recording our first full length this winter. So, that's wonderful to kind of continue working on that. But for us, it was really a start, I would say, of being able to show a more mature and heavier side to us, and definitely the direction that we are heading towards as a band.
You describe your sound as a progression from your early doomgaze energy towards a richer and more direct approach. What pushed you to explore this new direction?
So we started to explore this heavier side. I guess this is something I'd always been interested in doing. These 2 songs that we recorded in January and released in March, I'd already written them, I think, at least 3 years ago, for a different project that I was participating in at that moment. And at some point, we changed drummers and were able to attract a drummer that was into doom and heavier music. So then it became possible for us to sort of, take these ideas and see if they could work with Prophets Of Thwaites. And so luckily that definitely worked out. Our friend Nico, he's the session drummer for this EP. He did great and was really able to sort of bring these songs to life. And then after that, we were able to find our new permanent drummer, Ingmar, who is an excellent doom drummer. So he really, he's perfect for us, and he's really making it possible for us to explore that and to really grow in that. So it wasn't so much about changing our identity. I would say different, puzzle pieces kind of fit together, and because of that, we were able to really grow and to mature and go deeper into what it is that we've been wanting to do all along.
Your music thrives on atmosphere, dynamics, and tension. What can listeners expect from a Prophets of Thwaites live performance compared to the studio experience?
So if you compare the live experience to our studio recordings, then I think I've already mentioned it a bit before. I would say that live, we really try to create like an emotional journey from beginning to end. So it's not so much separate songs. We use soundscapes in between the songs to really kind of do something with the different transitions and to try to keep our audience in a continuous flow. So that's an important element of it. So we kind of try to, not focus just on the separate songs, but also on transitions, atmosphere, and dynamics is a big part of our live shows. So we also try to make sure that the, heavier moments, that they become more intense, whereas the quieter passages are, a bit more emotional or perhaps quieter, so that contrast comes to life more. Yeah, for us it's important that the audience experiences our concert in a way that that they feel that they've been part on a certain emotional journey. That's definitely what we are trying to achieve.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss upcoming content, interviews, and new videos. Thanks for your support.